Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to go through part 3 of my Stitch Mania video diary. Yes, that's right, I did actually finish Stitch Mania. I'm pretty excited about that. I will go into a little bit of a discussion about some of my takeaways from Stitch Mania after the video diary itself, but let's jump right into that. Here you go. So before I start on my project for today, I wanted to go over some Stitch email I've gotten in the last couple of days. It's been an exciting couple of days. So here we go. The first thing that I got was a pattern order that I put in with Mystic Fabrics. It's my ink circles order. So I'm pretty excited about getting these in. These two, the water dragon, the elemental dragons, those are my planned last two Maynia starts, but right now we're still waiting on the silks. The cool thing about these is that they are going on, I've actually ordered the fabric from Mystic that the models were stitched on. Misty at Mystic Fabrics selected a special color for each one of these. Earth Dragon goes on this lima bean fabric. Water goes on Reflections. The next one out will be Fire, which goes on Adobe. And then I have not yet gotten the Spring Breeze, which is what the Air Dragon will go on. So I have those two ready. I can't wait for the other two in the series to be released, but I'm excited to have these two here and hoping my silks get here in the next couple days so I can start. I got another order from Mystic in. One thing that has happened there recently was they discontinued a blue that she uses for a lot of my favorite fabrics. And when she told us that, I kind of went on a panic buying spree. So I got in some of the colors that use that blue. So there's Sea Glass. I got another Unipoo. I got it in Lugana this time, trying to branch out my fabrics. I bit the bullet and bought a linen in Winter Solstice. So yeah, I got those, and then as long as I was spending a lot of money, I got another one that I'd been wanting to get, which was Nothing. No, that's the name of it, Nothing. So yeah, it was a really fun day yesterday when the ink circles pattern and all of those came. And then today, even more fun. My fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me came. This month is Dreamsicle. I have no idea what I'm going to use it on, but it's gorgeous, isn't it? I will find something to use it on. But it'll be nice to have it in my arsenal. And then last book, this is by Book Riot, just released yesterday. I'm super excited about it. I know I'm going to do a couple of these. This gives you an idea of some of the projects that are in there. One of the first ones I'm definitely going to do is Treat Your Shelf. But a lot of these are bookmark sized. So looking forward to working on those. And sorry about that word. For those of you that might be offended by language, I didn't realize that was there, or else I would have made sure it didn't get caught in the film. Anyway, today I'm working on another Tiny Modernist, 2 days in a row. This is one of the Words to Live By, the 13-part series. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. There is actually a design for all of these. Let me see if I can get this in here without actually showing part of the pattern. There we go. But you can see that it's designed to be like that. They gave a layout size for the entire thing if you wanted to stitch it all on one. I don't know if I'm going to stitch all 13 pieces. I haven't decided yet, but if I do, I think it'd be a fun front for a quilt. So I'm stitching them a piece at a time. So I have a little 8x10 piece of black Aida cloth here that will fit that. And yeah, that's about it. So here we go. And there we go, 107 stitches in. You totally cannot tell in this lighting that that is actually blue. It's a really pale blue. It's a 3766. There you go. That's the color it is. Just against that black, the camera doesn't want to catch it. But there we go. It started. This one's going to be super fast because it's super small. Not the hugest fan of stitching in hand, but I think it's the best thing for this one, so that's what we're doing. And on we go. Okay, here we have May 14th. So here is today's start. It's ink circles out there. Again, I'm going to be trying my hand at linen. This one's a little higher quality than the last one I used. Maybe that'll make a difference. This is also going to be my first time using Classic Colorworks. Those were the recommended flosses for this one. So yeah, let's get started. Well, all I can say is wow, what a difference quality makes. This was a completely different experience than my other start on linen, which was just a cheap knit craft store brand linen that I had just bought specifically to do the tea dyeing without having to worry about wasting a lot of money if I ruined it. This was so much easier to work on. It's got more stiffness. It doesn't flop as much. I don't know. It was just a completely different experience. So here you go. Here's my 103 stitches start on this. I can see why people are a fan of linen. I can see myself becoming a fan of linen. I'm going to definitely start incorporating it into my work more often, which makes me happy because I just bought a rather expensive piece of linen in my most recent fabric purchasing spree, and I was worried that I wasn't going to like it. So yeah, here we go. That is it for May 14th. Here we are on May 15th, which would have been the last day if I didn't have these extra projects. So here we go. Here's today's start. I actually have this on a t-shirt. It's one of my favorite sayings. Here we go. Well, there's my 103 stitches for today's start. I was really tempted to go ahead and keep going on this one because it's going to be really fast and I could probably finish it today. But I'm going to be responsible and catch up on my temperature stitch along and some of the other things that probably should get done before something that's just for fun for me. So that's it. Signing off for today. It's May 16th. So this is today's start. It's Silver Creek Samplers Moonshine. It's a Nashville market pattern. I'm doing it on 16 count dapple from Picture This Plus. So here we go. There's 100 stitches in on Moonshine. 16 days down. 4 to go. May 17th. I've added one of the last 2 projects to the wheel. I've been looking forward to this one. I'm really excited to work on it. So today's start is Awesome Myth by Stitchrovia, and I'm going to be doing it on 16 count Aida in Unipoo by Mystic Fabrics. I have been looking forward to this one since I made my list of Maynia starts. This is probably the one that I have been looking forward to the most. So, one thing is a lot of the colors can be switched out for Etoile. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that right now. I forewent on getting Opal, Aida, so I don't know. We'll see as I get into it if I want to add a little sparkle to it. But I'm kind of regretting not getting the Opal Aida to begin with. Okay, the last of my projects is on the wheel because the fabric arrived today. So let's see what one of the last three I will start today. Lexi's project. Okay, so this is today's. I call it Lexi's because dog owners welcome. All guests must be approved by the dog. Lexi's pretty good at approving people. She likes just about anybody, so it doesn't really matter. This is going to be, I can see I'm working with the Gentle Art. Dyed flosses. This is also going to be my first foray into even weaves. I've got this 32 count white Lugana that I'm going to be trying this out on. I really hope I like it because I've already ordered some rather expensive hand-dyed Lugana in the Unipoo that I did yesterday just to have on hand for later. So here's hoping that I like it. So here we go. There's 105 stitches in on this one. In terms of my experience with Lugana, not bad. I don't particularly know whether I like it better, worse, or neutral than the other two. Besides Aida, I haven't really used Lina and Lugana enough to get an idea, but I have got more of both in my stash and will be using them at times to see what I think. Well, I'm pretty much out of printer paper, so I didn't print the cover page for this one, but this is the pattern. It's Love, Michigan by Digi Cross Stitch, and I am going to make it on this sea glass 16 count Aida from Mystic Fabrics. Let's see if I can get a little bit better light here. There. Still not great, but you can kind of see. I think it's going to look really cool when I'm done with it. So here we go. Okay, change of plans. As I got into that pattern, there are a couple things that I need to take a closer look at. I can't find center. It looks like I didn't print one of the pages. And I'm not really sure, like the pages aren't numbered, so I need to do some work on putting that pattern together before I can actually work on it. So I'm switching to my 20th start, which is the Skeptic Sampler by Sweetwater Studio. Here you go. And then I will come up with something else for tomorrow. I've got plenty of patterns and plenty of stash, so I don't have to do that one right now, and I won't. Well, this has been a largely disappointing day. Although I love this sampler, it's nothing to do with this. Got my 103 stitches in. But yeah, they just officially canceled Gen Con. And I'm sad. And that Michigan sampler, I can't even do a corner start on it easily because it's got a, like, there's a comment box and the fabric legend is actually cut into the top left corner, so the top left corner is not the top left corner. I have to count up and over, and it's just going to be a pain, so I'm probably just going to switch to a different project for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm rambling, and yeah, that's it. Done for the 19th. I'm going to go record a quick update for YouTube, and not going to post the video diary since tomorrow is the last day, so I'll post it following. But anyway, yeah, here we go. It's day 20 of Maynia. Yay, I made it. And this is going to be my last project. Added at the last minute. It's a very me. It'll hang up at work when I get done with it. This one is by CUZ Designs. That's the name of the store, in case I'm not pronouncing it right. And then, interesting thing I noticed after I got the pattern. This pattern is suited for 22 count Aida. So, I had to order some from Michael's. I don't normally like to use loops and threads or Joanne brand, because I've heard they're not always square, but when needs must. I have my 22 count Aida, and super nervous that my glasses are not going to be enough to handle this one. So the magnifiers might come out as soon as I remember where they are. Anyway, here's the project, and we'll get going. Alright, there we go. That's 101 stitches in. I made a little fudge here. This is 22 count, and I knew that I should have used one strand. And I'm just so, the loop start is just so ingrained in my head that I started with 2. So I was a little bit worried, particularly right here with the E where there's only the one row in between, that it might look too puffy. It might look, some of these stitches might look too crowded. Let's see if I can get in there and you can see some of them. So I posted it to the Enablers Facebook group to get an outside objective opinion, and everybody seems to think that it works okay. Probably for the design I will still switch to one if I can remember, but I just didn't feel like frogging all this when I realized my mistake, so the words are going to be in 2 strands. And that's it. I'm done with Maynia. 20 days, 20 new starts, 1 finish. I've learned a lot, and I'll probably do a little bit of a video about all the different things that I learned while I was doing Maynia. Thanks for coming on this journey with me, those of you that have been watching and encouraging either here or on my Instagram. It's been super helpful in keeping me motivated. That's a problem of mine. I'm not a moderator for Team Introverted Procrastinators for nothing. So, what's next? For the rest of May, I am going to try to focus on working on this project that you've seen before. And that is the This Is Fine meme. It's a super, super overdue Christmas gift. So I want to start working on this a minimum of 100 stitches a day, where I would have normally been working on my Maynia starts. And then if I'm just bored and want to do something different, I've put all of my whips on a wheel. Now that I've added these 20 and only finished 1, I added 19 more, so I have 28 whips on my wheel. This one and Natsu, which is my other overdue Christmas gift here, they're on there twice so that I have a higher possibility of getting one of them since they need to be done. But yeah, this is going to be my focus. Then Natsu will be my focus, then catching up on my stitch-alongs, but I'm going to spin the wheel and get some of those other ones in there. Also, because I hate to be bored. So that's it. And I'll shoot a short wrap-up video before I post this. And there you have it. That's my first Stitch Mania successfully completed. I'm really relieved. And I'm really so glad I did it. I think I've actually come out of this a different stitcher than I went in. I got to experiment with different types of flosses and different fabric types, colors. This is probably the first time I've adapted a pattern to fit my own desires and not followed exactly what the pattern said. So I'm starting to get a little bit more adventurous. I'm starting to see this more as an art that I can actually put my own spin on, even though I don't design patterns, instead of just copying someone else's pattern and coming up with a pretty picture. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, that's the way that I feel, is I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident in making my own decisions and going off pattern, and some of the feedback I got on some Instagram posts and some posts on the Stitch Mania Facebook page really helped me understand that my fabric choice can make a lot of difference in the way a final finished product turns out. Two people can take the same pattern, and just by changing the fabric can come up with something that has an entirely different look and feel. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about the progress that I've made. Of course, now I have 28 whips, so I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but I created a wheel of whips, and I've been spinning that. I think I mentioned in the last part of my video diary that my goal for the rest of May is to work on one project, put stitches in on one project every day, and then after that I can kind of play with some of the other ones that I want to play with. And that seems to be working well. You'll probably see on my next whip update. I'm hoping to have a finish for you not too long from now. So what's next? We're almost to June. Stitch Mania is over. What are my plans next? Well, the first one is I'm going to get a little bit more into knitting. I got some great suggestions from some subscribers and from some friends that I know in real life that actually knit. And so I think my next attempt is going to be lace. I found a really pretty shawl pattern that I like. I had a little bit harder time finding yarn because apparently yarn is going through the same issues that a lot of the cross-stitching supplies are going through with everybody's at home, so everybody's working on stuff. So I didn't quite get a color that I like. It's a color that's definitely not me. So it's probably something that's going to be made for a gift, but it'll be fun to learn on, and I am super excited about it. So that's going to be the next thing up, probably, is a knitting video, with my whip update, of course. I'm not going to leave the cross-stitch out of it entirely. Other than that, I am hoping to get up to Michigan and maybe get a hold of some of my other crafting materials so that I can start learning some new things. But definitely going to spend some time learning some new knit stitches. I might spend some time learning some new cross-stitch and embroidery stitches as well. Other than that, I'm kind of open. Like I've said before, socially distancing is kind of throwing a wrench in a lot of my learn by doing stuff because the people that I need to help me learn are not available to me for both of our sakes. And so I'm kind of in a holding pattern there. But I'm going to do my best to keep coming up with interesting things, and that's it. I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.